Number 60, mediumship and your health. Wow, 60 of these things. As always, please comment on this video, like it, click on the subscribe button. All of those things help other people to see these videos. So mediumship and your health, that's the subject of today's video. This has come up. I happen to have seen YouTube videos. I search YouTube videos for mediumship just to see what's there. And this question has come up in a couple of like broadcasts that are more like podcasts, but on YouTube. I've also seen it in some online Facebook forums about mediumship. And there was some study. There's one, I think, by they're called the Windbridge Institute, and there may have been one other, but somebody did a clinical study that showed that mediums, people who engage in mediumship, have weird health problems, unusual, rare illnesses. That's statistically more than chance a thing that happens with people who engage in mediumship. And that's certainly true for me. I've had a couple of rare, weird health issues. But here's the thing. I've had those since childhood. So they're not since I became a medium, since I started deliberately engaging in mediumship. They were always there, or they were there for years or decades before I knew anything about mediumship. So I do want to start first by saying that they are not a result of mediumship, but there does seem to be a weird correlation between rare health issues and mediums. So if you think you might be a medium and, oh yeah, you also happen to have Tourette's, or you also happen to have Crohn's, or you also happen to have some strange, not very common health issue, yeah, you might be medium. There's the thing. So I want to talk about the if there's the post-mediumship effect, right? After you've deliberately begun engaging in mediumship, because I believe that can only be neutral or good, and I want to separate it into mental health and also physical health. So as far as mental health goes, I have to say it can be emotionally draining to engage in mediumship. It's super common for clients to cry during a reading. I let mediums practice on me all the time. I've teared up from some of the readings I've gotten. Some of it can be very emotionally moving to connect with someone in spirit as a sitter or a client, as not the medium. And having that intense emotional connection with a total stranger is draining for me. I'm an introvert, especially if you're an introvert. That kind of interaction can be very draining. On the positive side, as a medium, I've connected with people in spirit, and my heart has just exploded with love, and I just want to choke up and cry, and I feel so much love in my heart. Parents do that more than any other connection. Grandparents also, spouses, but friends, but parents more than any other connection. I've got this exploding heart thing where love, my heart just expands with love, and that's good. But I have to say, even good stress is stress. It's still stressful, right? And then the one really bad reading that I had, I would characterize it as bad for me. And this is one reading out of more than 800 that I've done so far. This one guy I connected with in spirit had killed members of his own family. And he was so, I could barely choke out the words, "I am so sorry." I was just choking on regret and sadness, deep regret and sadness. And after that reading ended, for like 35, 40 minutes after it ended, I just sat and cried because I couldn't shake those awful, regretful, sad feelings. That was one reading out of 800 and some. So, and it was worth it because it was really meaningful, worth it to me because it was really meaningful for the client. So, in a normal average, not a normal reading, in an average reading for me, when I do a reading for somebody, I feel a little bit tired in a good way. Mentally tired in a good way. The way when you go to the gym and you physically feel a little bit tired, a little bit worn out, it's mostly like that. Mentally, it's mostly like that after having done a reading or a series of readings. That's what I feel like. As far as physical health goes, I believe we're connecting with an energy when we engage in mediumship that can only be healing. And I have certainly never, ever been harmed by that connection. And I don't know, this is interesting. I don't know if I've been healed by that energy because I was doing mediumship, or if I'm more aware of the healing because I'm now aware of that kind of spiritual connection. And so what I suspect has happened is I was being healed all along, like all throughout my life, by someone or someone's in spirit. But I wasn't aware of it, or I didn't know it was happening until I deliberately started engaging mediumship and was aware of that. So this is the example I'll give. I had major surgery because of a weird health issue. I had major surgery about 9 months ago. My second day of recovery, I'm laying in my bed. I wake up and I look over, and there's one of my grandmothers right next to my bed. And I was seeing her the same way I see people in the room with me when I'm doing a reading, and she's long passed. And in my head, I said, "What are you doing here?" Because I knew I wasn't doing mediumship for anyone, but that's how I was perceiving her. And in my head, I could hear, she said, "I know you can do this." And she shows me myself doing mediumship. And she said, "Look what I can do." And she starts stirring the insides of my body is what it felt like. And I could feel myself getting better. And I said, "You're healing me." And she went, "Shh." And so I just laid there quietly. And from that day forward, after the surgery, I stopped taking pain pills because I didn't need them anymore. There was definitely a healing effect. And I did not know this grandmother to be a healer while I was here. She was just my grandma. But so I've definitely been healed by people in spirit. I've definitely been healed by that energy, but I suspect it's been happening all along. I think that happens to all of us all along, but you're not necessarily distinctly aware of it that way until you become a medium, you deliberately engage in mediumship, and you start being aware of those kinds of connections and aware of that part of life around you, that part of our universe or multiverse around you. So yes, a lot of us have strange health issues. I think that has nothing to do with post-mediumship, with after becoming a medium, officially engaging in mediumship. I think the two weirdly go hand in hand, but it's not because you're doing mediumship. So those are my thoughts on that subject. Next week, I want to talk about how when you are engaged in mediumship, when you're connected with someone, it feels like your own thoughts and feelings. I still feel that way. It doesn't feel like it's coming from an outside source. It doesn't feel like the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the memories you're having, they feel like your own. It does not feel like it's coming from something exterior. So I want to talk about that. That leads into several ideas I want to talk about. That'll be next week. As always, again, please like this video, comment on it below, click the subscribe button. This helps other people see these videos. And now I'm going to click end. I think I'm getting better at ending these because I don't know when the live feed cuts off. Thank you for watching this time, and see you next week.